Once again, I welcome you. Today, the topic is uses of will and shall. They are called as modal auxiliary verbs or modal verbs. What is a modal verb? Modal verb indicates modalities. That is, it talks about likelihood, request, ability, capacity, suggestions, etc. A modal verb combines with another verb to express the mood or the tense. So I told you that in this topic we will talk about the uses of will and shall. Okay, when will is used? First, will is used to talk about prediction about the future. To talk about the prediction about the future. So you see here, I think it will rain. It's a prediction talking about the future. It talks about prediction. Write down. In the first person, in modern English, shall is used. For prediction, we can use shall. For example, I shall succeed one day. I shall succeed one day. Once again, I repeat you. In the first person, in the modern English, we use shall. So we can example for that. I shall succeed one day. Write down. Will in the second and third person indicates simple futurity. I repeat once again. Generally, will is used for the second and third person. It indicates simple futurity. For example, you see this example. You will become a teacher. You will become a teacher. Another example. She will pass the entrance examination. Right now. Generally, the rule is shall is used in the first person. But when will is used, then what it indicates. Okay. When will is used, it talks about determination. It talks about determination. The example for that is I will see that it is done. And it also talks about the promise. I will surely help you. This is the promise. I will surely help you. Or threat. When you are threatening someone, I will punish you if there is a misconduct, or otherwise I will dismiss you from the job. So when I is used in the first person for determination, for promise, for threat, and another how it is used, we will try to know. How I showed you that will is used in the first person for determination, for threat. Will is used in the first person for a wish. I will go to cinema. This is the example for that. Will is also used for willingness and intention. You see the example here. You see the examples here. I told you that will is used in the first person for willingness and intention. I will show you the way. This is I will show you the way. This is willingness. Next example. I will wait for you. This is the intention. Another example I will take. I will go home today. I will go home today. This shows unpremeditated action. When you are using unpremeditated action, you can use will. But when it is a planned, and when you have advancement and you have decided to do, then you have to use present continuous tense or going to form. I will give you that examples also. Write down. When the action is unpremeditated, when the action is planned, when the action is already fixed, for that you can use present continuous tense or you can use going to form. For example, what are you going to have for your breakfast? You can give the answer, I am going to have dosa. You have already planned. For such type of action, we must use present continuous tense or going to form. Write down. Note this point, please. In interrogative sentences, in the first person, we must not use will. Once again, I repeat. In the interrogative sentences, in the first person, we must not use will. You must not say, don't say like will I go, or will we sing. You must not say like that. You have to say, shall I go or shall we sing? Shall we sing? I repeat once again, in interrogative sentences, you must not use will in the first person. Write down. When we use will in the second person, it denotes willingness, intention and wish. For example, will you dance? Willingness. Will you come with me? Intention. It talks about intention, it indicates intention. Will you help her? It talks about wish. When will is used in the second person, it indicates willingness, it indicates intention and wish. Right. Finally, will is also used for requests, and will is also used for habits and characteristics behavior. To talk about habits and characteristic behavior. First we will talk about request. Okay, will you lend me your book? This is the example for that. And for habits and characteristics, it talks about habits and characteristics. You see here the example, he is peculiar, he will sit for hours in silence. Another thing, salt will dissolve in water. So I have touched where will is used. Now we shall go to shall. How to use shall? Right now. When and how we must use shall. Shall in assertive sentence in the first person is used to indicate futurity. Example for that is I shall come as early as possible. Second example, where shall we be this time tomorrow? Right now. In this sentence, note we can use will. There is a possibility of using will also. For example, I have used, you see this example, I shall come as early as possible. You can use will also, I will come as early as possible. At the same time, here you can replace the shall like this, where will we be this time tomorrow? Write down. But what is the problem with will is, will sometimes changes the meaning. For example, you see here, I shall meet you tomorrow. This indicates simple futurity when we use shall. In the same place, if I use will, I will meet you tomorrow. Here there is a possibility of intention. To avoid this confusion, to avoid this ambiguity, we can use future continuous tense. What we can use? I will be meeting you tomorrow. I will be meeting you tomorrow. I repeat once again. Sometimes the usage of will changes the meaning. Here, I shall meet you tomorrow indicates simple futurity, whereas I will meet you tomorrow indicates the intention. Whereas to avoid this ambiguity, we can use future continuous tense. for the same. I will be meeting you tomorrow. Right now. Shall is used for interrogative sentences. Mind you, here are two examples. Shall we have a cup of coffee? Another example, what shall I do first? For interrogative sentences, shall is used. Write down. Shall but not will is used for suggestions, advice, request for instruction. For all this, shall is used. We must not use will. You see the example. First example, shall I help you? It is an offer. Next example, shall we play chess? Suggestion. Another example, shall we appoint him as typist? This is request for instruction. I repeat you, shall not will is used for advice, requests, suggestions, etc. Write down. Generally, will is used for determination, but sometimes in speeches we use shall. For example, we shall fight and we shall win. Equivalent, we can also write we will fight and we will win. Both are possible, but speeches we use shall. And shall is used for commands and compulsions, whereas will is used for determinations. Write down. Is used for, I told you, for commands and compulsion. Example, you or he shall obey my order. Another example for compulsion, this is the example for command, this is the example for compulsion. The student shall pay their fee by 5th of September. This is the compulsion. Write down. Shall is used in promise and threat. Example for a promise. You shall have a holiday tomorrow. Another promise, for example, if he passes in the examination, he shall have a new bike. And shall can also be used for threat. If you don't do the homework, example, if you don't do the homework, you shall be punished. So I have completed the uses of will and shall. In the next video, we shall meet. Until then, goodbye and namaste.